Hey guys, I cannot believe I'm saying this right now, but today is the first birthday of Loepsie.com. I have been blogging for a year. I am so excited. I have no idea where the time went. It just flew by. I feel like I started 2 months ago, but it's been a year. I just wanted to thank you guys so much for supporting me on this journey. Blogging, doing videos, everything, just, you know, trying to make this happen. You guys helping me fulfill my dreams. Thank you so much for sticking with me through all these years and for being there and supporting me with everything I do. So today, in celebration of Loepsie.com's first birthday, I wanted to do a Q&A. So I have my tea here from my Q&A mug, because we're gonna do a tea time. So I'm having some Alpine herbal tea. So let me know in the comments what tea you're having, and I'm gonna grab my questions here from my phone and let's just get started. So the first question is by Nikki the Biscuit, and she asks, what does Loepsie mean? I get this quite a lot because, I mean, it's not a very common word, and the reason for that is it doesn't mean anything. One of my classmates in elementary school randomly started calling me Loepsie. There was a show on TV with characters that spoke gibberish, and one of them said something that sounded like Loepsie. He randomly decided to call me Loepsie, maybe because it kind of looks like Lucy or something, I don't know. And then other people caught on to that, and it just kind of stuck with me forever. So the next question is by gingergonewild_, and she asks, what got you to start with this blog? Really got into reading other people's blogs, just beauty blogs and lifestyle blogs in general, and I absolutely fell in love with the whole world, the community of blogging. I really enjoy writing. I used to really love writing as a kid. As I went through all of my schools and my education and everything, I kind of lost my passion for writing because I had to write so much of what other people told me to write. Some things are just better explained in writing than in spoken words. Like, for example, the topics that I go over in my Mindful Mondays, they are often pretty personal, and I wouldn't be completely comfortable with sharing those in videos, but in blog posts I just have a lot more time to think about how I'm going to word things and stuff like that. And I also just wanted to have a central hub for all things Loepsie, so kind of my base from where you can branch out to all my other kind of channels and media and everything. Shurutirao 1988, I'm sorry for completely butchering your name, asks, I'm going to be moving to a different country for my studies. What is one tip you'd give someone who's off to live alone? Does it get mind-numbingly lonely sometimes? Well, of course you'll get lonely eventually. I mean, you're off, everyone you know is back in your old country, but the biggest tip I can give you, especially for loneliness, is to make new friends in your new location. Nice people are everywhere, you are bound to click with someone, and just the feeling of having people around you is so nice. So definitely try and make new friends, and also just stay in touch with your old friends and your family and everything. Call them frequently, you can Skype, chat, stay connected over social media, and stuff like that just really helps so that you won't feel left out of everything that's going on at home. I don't know how to pronounce this. HATHVS asks, do you ever wish you could cut off a bunch of your hair? No. Well, I could cut off a bunch of my hair, I just don't want to. Sometimes though, when there's like a new trend, like right now you have the kind of long bob cut trend and everybody's rocking it and I love it on so many people. Sometimes I wonder what would I look like with that hair, and then I do feel a little bit restricted by the fact that I, like, not that I have to, but I love to do long hair tutorials, and I know I would regret it if I cut my hair off. Lady Cattington asks, if someone handed you a cat right now, what would you name it? Angus. First name that pops to my mind is Angus. I always give my pets Celtic names, and Angus is a pronounceable but still Celtic name. Ro Ruli asks, I love watching your videos because you always bring so much positivity, but of course life isn't always colorful. Do you lose motivation about anything? And if so, what are the things that keep you going and eventually re-find that motivation? Of course I lose motivation sometimes. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing anything at all, and I feel like the biggest, well, there are two ways to go about this. You can either give in and just take the day off and do something fun, do something else, get your mind off of it. Eventually I will start itching and just want to make more videos and produce, because I'm a creator by nature. I need to produce things and make things. And the other thing I do is just push on. Sometimes I just have to go on and there's nothing I can do about it, and I just need to stop whining and just keep going. And that also sometimes helps, to just once you get over that kind of feeling and you just start going, I guess it just depends on the situation. If you're just feeling a little bit lazy, just push through and keep going. And if it's really bad, if you really feel like not doing it at all, then just, you know, take a day off. Then you can kind of get back to it the next day with full passion and work a lot faster than you would have if you'd spent the whole day kind of slowly trying to do it. Gilo Perez G asks, we are talking future here. How do you want your wedding to be? Medieval themed maybe? Or a regular wedding? Of course, I've thought about this. I have a whole Pinterest board that's related to weddings. I have a few different visions for weddings, like a few different scenarios, but one of them is definitely like a medieval themed. Well, Robert and I have discussed this. We would like to have kind of a less formal wedding and more kind of, I don't know if this makes sense, but like fantasy fair style. We want to have it on outside on a field. I want there to just be little stands where you can get good vegetarian food, like falafel maybe, or just something simple and hearty and just delicious that everybody loves. And I want there to be live music, definitely a harp player. I really want a harp player on my wedding, and just kind of a relaxed, fun, festive atmosphere. Not really stiff and formal, but more like I want everybody to have a great time and just celebrate love and life. So we may do it on like a castle ground or some place like that. And I definitely wanted to have a little bit of a medieval touch. I don't really care about historical accuracy here, but I just want that kind of fancy fair feeling. Although I am going full glamour on my dress, you can count on that. Ash Clash asks, since you are now your own boss and are clearly doing something you love, I was wondering if you had ever received any pressure to find a real job in the past, whether it be from your parents, teachers, etc. Did anyone try to lessen the validity of your YouTube work? Not really that. It's more that some people just don't understand what it means and how you can possibly make money from that, or that people don't understand how much work it is to actually do this. Pretty much everyone I've told has always been really supportive and always thought it was really cool that I did this. And honestly, I have this little trick. Whenever I talk to someone who I feel like they probably won't understand, I just say I work in online entertainment, and it immediately sounds like a real job. So there you go. I work in online entertainment. Luckily, my family has always been really supportive. They've been there since I've been doing this, well, since I was 15, back when it didn't need to be a job. It was just a hobby, you know? So they've seen it evolve and they know exactly what goes into it. So yeah, they've always been really supportive and I'm really happy with that. Anetcha, I'm sorry, I'm butchering all your names, asks, how do you sustain weekly motivation to make videos and write in your blog without getting burned out? What's a way to make sure you get it all done on time? And then Shelby Katirek asks, like someone asked a bit earlier, what keeps you on task with your editorial schedule? What keeps the motivation up when you are feeling sick? That's not too hard for me because I genuinely really love doing this. I've run out of ideas, but I can always like ask people, you know, sometimes I ask on Facebook like, hey guys, do you have any ideas? And then people will reply and that will give me inspiration. And sometimes I just go on Pinterest and I look at the beauty posts and the fashion posts and DIY posts, and I will just get inspiration from that. Something about just scrolling through all the pictures, my mind kind of processes that and comes up with new ideas. I always try to plan ahead really far. That's my biggest kind of secret, I guess. It's not really a secret, but that's my biggest tip, is to plan ahead. I always make sure to work at least a week ahead. I would love to get to 2 weeks, but I haven't been able to do it yet. Let's say today I will already have my video done for next week's Friday, and ideally I would have the video for the week afterwards ready as well. And the same thing goes for ideas. I always plan out my schedule for in 2 weeks on Sunday. So this Sunday I will plan not for the week that's coming, but the week after that, so that I always have 2 weeks worth of ideas that I can work on. And then Shelby also asked, what is the biggest piece of advice for someone who is trying to work for themselves and is considering taking the risk of quitting their day job? Make sure you have enough savings to fall back on. The biggest risk is financial, of course, you'll know that. So make sure you can take that risk. Have at least, I'd say, 6 months of your living expenses on your bank account before you take that leap, so that if anything goes wrong and you don't make as much money as you were expecting or enough to support you, you have the time to go back and look for another job. And also be sure to have a good plan before you start. Pretty much have a business plan ready before you quit your day job, and make sure your business is up and running before you quit your day job, so that ideally there is no financial gap. Good luck. Agnes Ines is asking, I'm currently learning Dutch, so my question to you would be, what is your favorite Dutch word? Okay, this is gonna be so weird, but my favorite Dutch word is melkje. It means little milk. It's not even, nobody uses that, but it just sounds, it is like the quintessential Dutch to me. That is pretty much the most Dutch thing. Little milk. Melkje. That's pretty much my favorite Dutch word. Those are all the questions that I'm going to answer today, guys. Thank you so much for sending them through. I'm almost out of tea, so I'm gonna end the video here as well. I want to thank all of you so much for watching, and thank you again so much for sticking with me through all these years. I will see you very soon in another video. Bye! Slowest phone in the world. The slowest phone in the world. Bum,